everyone, welcome back to another video. Now this video is going to be a build and review of the Mould King LR13000 Liebherr Crawler Crane. Now about maybe 8 or 9 months ago you saw me review and build this Beretta M92. I got a comment saying that, hey, that's not the Beretta, that's the Desert Eagle. And yeah, it is actually the Desert Eagle. The problem was I bought this from more of a wholesaler site. I didn't buy this from Mould King directly themselves. That's why it came in a little paper plastic bag rather than a Mould King series box. Now, I said in that video that I do like building bigger sets, so we do have a big set here. The gun came with about just under 300 parts from my memory. This comes with, if you can see that on the bottom, 4,318 pieces. This was brought from mouldkingcorp.com, so it's the actual site. The Lego blocks are actually made by, I think they're called a company called Go Bricks, which are very high quality, almost indistinguishable from Lego. The box, I thought the box would be bigger. It's not too bad, it is quite thick, as you can see there. I will lift the camera up, so it is quite thick. And actually, I chucked it on the scales when I got it here. It weighed 7.3 kilos. The box is a bit swollen from all the bags and shit inside. The reason that I wanted this was because Lego have their own version of the Liebherr Crawler Crane, but it's more disfigured and it's more like a misrepresentation of the actual thing. With this one, the boom is almost as long as the jib. With the Lego version, the jib is just as long as the boom, so it's misfigured. This is more of a correct representation of the actual crane in real life. This also has motors, so it has motorized function. It can go forward, backward. You can lift the boom, lower the boom, lift the jib, lower the jib, put the counterweight out. This is all motorized. There is not a single manual part on it, and that's what they call the MK control, like Mould King control. It's a complete their version of the Lego power functions, which I think Lego has another new version of it. The model number is 17015. The age classification is actually 14 plus. If this was a Lego model, it definitely would be 18 plus. Coming around to the back of the box, we can see some size things there. It says it can reach 173 centimeters, so 1.7. It can actually go a little bit taller than that. It's 37 centimeters wide. It can actually reach about 2.1 fully extended. The length of it can actually go up to 1.8 meters long. Of course, if you're raising or lowering the boom, it can actually be a lot longer. I think it can actually go up to about 2.5 meters long, lying on the floor. Down the bottom of the box, it tells you that it can get raised and lowered. The jib is risable and lowerable. You can open up the back panel, which is somewhere in there, and look at the all the motors and shit working. It has a cab. It has a lowerable and raisable hook, obviously. The counterweight at the back, which is displayed there as well. It can get it's adjustable, and the whole the chassis turns on the main turntable there. Last little thing is that it comes with 1 medium motor, 5 large motors, 1 remote control, 1 battery box, 10 metal weight modules, and 2 motor extension cords as well. So they're for longer things with this crane. I'm not really good at explaining. Alright, let's get this bitch open. And forgive me for using rather a large knife, but yeah, a bigger box requires a bigger knife. No, it doesn't when the tape's the same length. Alright, grand reveal. Comes with some attentions and warning. It's like, oh, look at here, Canadian British and American. Hey, where's the Australian? That's a bit racist. Comes with a little Mould King sticker. Exciting! Look at all that inside. Holy shit. Okay, that was a bit more than what I thought would come out of that. Wow. Alright, first of all, we've got the manual. That's in a nice plastic case. And that manual is pretty chunky. We got numbered bags. We've got a 3, a 1, a 4. Wow, they're actually all the same part in one bag. What's that? Another 3. Yeah, all the same part. Black bars. A 2, there's some black gears and some grey beams. Some yellows, there's actually a bag inside that, I think, just where the greys are. Or maybe there's not. There's a bag full of track pieces. I think there's about 288 of them. There's a bag full of blue connector pieces, blue little Technic pins. Wow, in there's got to be at least 200 to 300 of them. Jesus Christ. Lots of little Technic frames. There's a bag full of string. That's all the cables and shit. There's a bag full of the black connector pins. There's got to be, I don't know, maybe 300 to 400 of them. Let's give you a look at the manual because I'm sure some people would like to have a look at that. Okay, so before opening this up, I've had a look at PDF files and shit, so I sort of know what we're heading in for. It's pretty similar to Lego style from what I've seen, but to actually hold the manual in my hand is a whole different thing altogether. Feels very much like Lego. There's the stickers as well. They put them in the books. That's pretty good. That was just like the Desert Eagle. The stickers came in the book saying to test the electronic parts. I didn't actually see a bag for them, but I'm sure they're in there somewhere. There's like 30 fucking bags. Crazy. Bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4. Showing you what pages they do. 158 to 277. So there must be 277 pages. Let's have a look at some instructions just real quick. Showing you that it does have a 1-to-1 system so you can check the size of the parts. Showing you all the different motors and stuff, like where to stick the stickers. You've got like the A series, B, C, D, E, you know, those series are 6, so it must go up to F. Oh, okay, that's going to be interesting. So it looks like you connect them all up to a battery box and a survey relay. That looks like the module. What they said on the box is the weight module. And then I think it's like you test out the remote and shit. Actually, a lot of remote setting up before you actually start building. There are how many pages? It doesn't actually say that. Oh, the page number starts there as 1. I don't know if you can see that, but it starts there as 1. On this page, however, there's nothing. That's like I guess an introductory thing. And then you start building. And these actually, the illustrations and the pictures on the page aren't actually that bad at all. If you can see, they're actually not bad at all. They're actually well printed. I'm impressed. Sort of like the last Mould King that I had. Yeah, yeah, these actually aren't that bad at all. They're easy. You can easily tell that's like a brownish piece. Yeah, you can definitely tell like what to use and, you know, what part to grab, and, you know, it is a complex model after all, so it might be a bit busy on some pages, you know, with what to get, you know. Just a quick flick through the model, show you some pages of it. That's like building one of the main booms, or the jib, or something, or the counter arm. Over 600 steps, easy. Yeah, 605, 631. relining. Doing the string, I reckon the string's going to be a hard part. Alright, so actually building it, that's remote setting up, 677. So actually building it has, I think you remove some parts. That's what I saw as a PDF as well. So yeah, putting it and relining it, it's about 674, 675 steps, 268. That's the page we're on. And then it's just remote configuration for the last couple of steps. What a massive behemoth. Anyway, without too much more dicking around, it shows you to put stickers on the last part. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, without too much dicking around, I'm going to get started and build, and we're going to do a time lapse, I reckon. There's the remote. Oh, it's actually got gyroscopic rockers on them. Here's what appears to be the battery box with a cable too, with a cable as well. That's like a phone charger, a USB to like an Android charger. And I think the most exciting part, all the motors. Okay, so after about a couple of hours, I have got all the cables over here labeled. It was really difficult because some of the stickers, I mean, look how small some of the stickers are. Like, those are my fingers compared to the stickers that you're meant to be sticking on. And each of those, they're all different coloured, and each of the different colours are a different letter. I think purple is E, brown is F, A is red. So now I'm going to link all these chargers, all these motors and cords and stuff together. Alright, that is what we are looking at now. All the cables are connected to each motor. Oh, here we go. It's not that one, it's this one. Alright, I'm going to go through the controller configurations and shit, because there's a whole couple of pages just to make sure. So as I was opening the bags, getting ready just to pour out number ones, because there are multiple, there's only 4 numbers, but there's a lot more. I found out that one of the bags here comes with a hole, and it was leaking pieces out. Luckily, they are big pieces and not small pieces. Otherwise, pieces would have gone everywhere, and I would have been missing a few. And only 2 came out the bag, so that's all good. I think there is about 5 or 6 bag ones, plus a couple unnumbered. That one's full of black Technic pins. These are full of blue Technic pins. And I guess you use them throughout the whole build, so there's really no number necessary, I guess, so you use them throughout the whole build. Anyway, let's get on with this build. Alright, just want to stop here. These little axles, usually plastic for here, Mould King, they are carbon fibre, and it says so in the book as well. But like, I don't know if that sounds any different. I know when I dropped them, they sounded different. These are carbon fiber. Alright, I'm finally done for the night. I was only going to spend a couple hours. I've got 5 hours done. I was going to finish at 10:30. It's now about 11:30 and I am completely rooted. Some of these things were a little bit hard to press in, such as the blue Technic pins. But yeah, I cannot do any more. Yeah, that's where we're up to. We're about 1/6 of the way through, and we've just built the main base, not even part of the superstructure yet. So I'm gonna pick this up in the morning and do a little bit more and see how far we get. Alright, I just thought I'd clarify things a little bit further. It is the next day now, and I don't feel like I did a very good job at explaining because I was just so tired. It's got motors here. It's got the C motor and the A motor. It's got worm gears as well, there and there for the drivetrain. All the cords and stuff come through the hub. Instead of time lapses, I'm just going to give little updates along the way about where I've done, how long it's taken. This is also how we're going for spare parts. We've got 4 little connectors with the holes through them and one little tiny little gear. And this is how many bag 2s there are. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bag 2s with the additional blue and black Technic pins that are required throughout the whole build. Just another little thing, there were smaller bags inside the bigger bags, and oh holy mountain of tracks. Alright, we've finally reached it. 280 track pieces, 70 per track, 4 tracks. This is gonna drive me clicking mad. Alright, it's about an hour later, and let me just tell you, it is a little bit tiring to say the least. I'm building part of the superstructure that goes on top of the base over there. It's hard when you putting on these walls for the sides, and you have to make sure all the blue pins along the substructure in line, and don't put too much pressure or they could bend. I mean, I've only had one pin bend in here somewhere, and that's because there is a lot of different little parts and it's a bastard and a half to put together sometimes. We've also got the B motor going in. This is for the counterweight, I presume. I'm not too sure, and I've already fucked up a piece. I have to put these 2 pins in here somewhere, so I'll have to get back to that. Alright, so a couple of hours later, bag 2 is now done. That's led us up to page 96, step 264. It's the main superstructure. It's not fully built yet, but it's pretty much finished. All the main components and stuff like that. All you have to do now is the trim in bag 3, I presume. There is motors everywhere. Like this side has a motor there, and a motor down the back there. So there's two motors in that side. And these are the larger motors in there. There's a medium motor in there, and I presume that's for like some sort of the counterweight going out that back door there. There's also a motor in there. If you can see, mate, these are tiltable for now, but yeah. There's also a step in the book that was a little bit hard to follow. It's pretty much when you build this wall, it asks you to connect it to there, but there is also a pin down the back, so you have to like try and get the pin. Well, you have to do all these pins as well, make sure all these pins connect and stuff, and there's more pins. You see the blue connected at the bottom, but that doesn't really happen. So what you have to do is you have to take these blue pins out that are connected in there, right in that gap, and you have to take them out and then put them into this board here so that you can easily move it in and up into that gap where there is a pin down the bottom there, and then you later connect it up with a top piece and that happens either side anyway. So there's three big pulleys there. I'm not too sure what they're for. There's a worm gear here with another gear and a motor. Next part is the counter arm and the main boom, but bag 3 is the counter arm, bag 4 is the boom and the jib. There is also a piece that I'm a bit unsure about down the back. It's weird because there's a gear there, but it grinds against this piece here, so when you go to turn it, it's constantly grinding. I'm not too sure if that was a design flaw or if that's intentional. It still turns, but yeah, there is a bit of a grinding issue going on now. I'm not too sure what that's all about. Bag 3 starts off with a bang with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bags in total, and a hell of a lot of pieces. They seem to have more and more pieces the higher the bag number. Like bag 4 has way more than bag 3 has. Bag 3 had quite a bit more than bag 2, and bag 1 had the lowest amount, even though we built a pretty big base. Alright, just a little update. When you go and put the main turntable on, or the main big gear on, it's going to ask you to clip it through 4 little black pins there, there, and there, just to make sure that it holds on properly. Now, when that actually happens, you get 4 black pins that are not just normal black pins like those. They're actually these, and what these like to do, they like to pop off and not clip in properly, so you actually have to take one of the side panels off to actually get access to it, and it's right in a tricky spot. It's right under that motor. You can't actually see it, but it's right under that motor. The only way I knew it was there is because on this side it's a little bit easier to get access to. The front ones are okay because they're right there and right in there, right? But the back ones are an absolute bastard to get to, so that's something that they probably weren't really thinking of. But it's really hard to do, but I managed to do it, so just keep that in mind if you ever want to consider buying this. Alright, the base is onto the tracks, or the base is onto the main body. Everything is wired up, it is all connected into the battery box, and I don't want to really tell you how hard that was. To make it easier, if you were to build this where you've got the motor C is where you need to hang the back of the body. This might be a little bit different, but I've just found this works because I was trying to click it on, because there is a black gear and a silver. It's like those two clamping gears from Lego. They clamp together and they hold it, and we've got 2 big yellow gears. There is a little bit of a gap because I haven't finished tightening it or whatever, pushing it down yet. It was just hard enough to get it to click on. I was trying to put it on the other way, it wasn't going on no matter how hard I pressed down on it, but this way seems to work, seems to actually get its ass up off the ground and I'm not there swearing at it. Thought we might just give you a little demo of how it works. So swing it right and left. And it is a little bit jerky just because there is so much weight on the back and nothing absolutely on the front. I mean, look at where those tables sit, so yeah. Alright, first stability arm is on. So we're looking maybe about half a meter, 60 centimeters in height. And the tricky thing is you have to make sure that all these pins are in the same way, the same orientation to connect properly. Alright, and a lot of swearing later, the counter arm is done. And this measures up to, I'm going to try and get the best I can. I'm reading 87 centimeters on that. And what we've got so far, about 63 centimeters tall. Also, to construct this, it is a lot of repetition, and it does hurt your fingers because you're pushing non-Technic pieces, just like flat little bars, into Technic pieces, and they have to be specific and they have to be aligned very well, and you have to push quite hard to make sure they're in all the way, otherwise they're just not going to go in all the way and you're going to be left with a gap. So some places have a gap, but I can't get everything perfect on this. And right down the end is rolly things. Alright, now it's starting to take shape. We've got the main counter arm screwed in, well, just held in with an axle, this axle in the middle actually, that's holding the support strut up to the main counter. So just like that. Okay, as I was putting these weight modules in, one accidentally broke on me, and I managed to see what's inside. And it's like this little, I don't know, bar of iron, but it stains your fingers as well. So I'm not too sure what that is. If someone can let me know, it's like steel, but it's sort of like, I don't know, it feels a bit chalky as well. Okay, about 7 hours later, this is what you should have. Well, hopefully. This is what I have anyway. I've got the counter arm fully set up. I've got the counter weight fully set up. I've got the weight brick modules in there. I've got this all operating, like the arm, the boom arm for the counterweight. Bag 3 actually starts you off by assembling part of the main boom, just a very small part of it. It just gets really repetitive as hell after this, I can presume. But there are some things I think that's to hold, like the cable or some shit at a later stage. So yeah, we're up to step 428 or page 158. And the rest, 120-ish pages or so, is just building bag 4. And that's all the pile over there. It's about maybe 10 or 11 bags. It's the largest step in this model. It's the largest section because you build the main boom and the jib and all the guide wires and all. You run all your cable through and stuff like that, or your rope, well, string in this case. So we'll pick it up tomorrow. I'm done. I'm done. It's taken the good part of 6.5 hours, probably even close to 7 hours. To do this because I had to rebuild part of this counter arm 3 times, this end down here 3 times because I kept fucking it up, like the orientation and these bars weren't sitting exactly where they were supposed to, and yeah, it was making things clip off and go flying across the room, so that pissed me off and I took a break for maybe about 5-10 minutes just to think about a better way to clip it together. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. Alright, I've laid out all the pieces. This is the biggest building stage of this. And would you have a look at all these 1x8s? Look how many there are. There's like, I don't know, 100, 200 of them in there. But before I do that, what I want to say is just how I've been going and, you know, what's it been like to build. You know, it's been, let me say, pretty straightforward. It's definitely had its challenging parts along the way, and there's a lot of long panel pieces that you have to put in all at once, you know, along the body, you know, along the back, and pushing in lots and lots of these blue Technic pins. They don't go in quite as easily as the normal Lego, but it's still not too hard. It is more of a repetitive strain that you will get on your fingers, and your fingers will feel a bit sore for maybe the half an hour or hour after you finish building this. It's nothing too unbearable, but it is something to keep a mind out for. The black ones, on the other hand, the shorter ones, they're okay. These little you know, these little pieces with the top hat on them, whatever they are, they're a little bit hard, just like the blue Technic pins. But altogether, over everything, this has been I don't know, it's been an okay build. It's a fun build just to see it take shape and take height and take size, but it is a challenging build, you know. They say 14 plus on the box. Yeah, look, I'd recommend this to at least a 16 plus. Another thing is, any missing pieces, might you ask? No, not yet. There are no missing pieces, but I've probably just jinxed myself saying this, so I'll probably find a couple missing pieces in this bag, or in this set, I should say. But there are spare pieces, like little, you know, microphone. Oh, they look like microphones a little bit, don't they? Little pieces of that, and, you know, a few black. Oh, that one's actually broken because I snapped a few of these pieces trying to build that. The main little connector piece for the boom. But I did get a spare track piece, a spare little half stud pin, whatever the hell they are. A few of these. I think I got like 4 or 5 of these as a spare. That's the spare pieces, actually. No missing pieces. I even get spares with this, so but I have seen other reviews online that they've had like one missing black panel, or, you know, something like that, but there is a lot of red in this build. The emphasis is the height with how big it is, not really the base or the body of it. So I think they would pay more attention to get every red piece into this build than the body or the base. But all the pieces for my set are there. There's no missing so far. Alright, it's been about another 2 hours and the main boom is done. I've got 1460, so 1.46 meters. I've locked it there at the measuring tape. Okay, and that's the whole arm done. We've got the whatever you call this to connect for stability all the way down into there, and we've got the this arm that connects to the back, so it just runs like that all the way to the back. This also took 3 hours to complete, so that might give you a little bit of a gauge on how long it might take you. You might be able to do it a little bit quicker, or it might take you a little bit longer. Alright, now she is held in place at a 45-degree angle with 2 braces holding the main boom to the counter arm, and I'm standing up right now because it is quite tall. I'm going to do a measurement in a second, but yeah, that's the top of the door frame, and that's the top of the crane, so yeah, there's not too much room left. Alright, all the way down to the ground, right to the tallest point, which is this roller. I'd say 1460, so pretty much as tall as the arm is if it was 90 degrees. Okay, that's the jib done. That was about another hour and a half to get all of those things together. The length of this piece is, I've got it coming up as 805 mils, so 80 centimeters. Okay, this might not really come very explanative to some people, but make sure when you are putting on the top jib, make sure your crane is lying down because it is too much weight. I've snapped a piece already. Well, it's not really snapped, it came off, so I'm going to have to repair it. I sort of know where it is, but it doesn't make it any easier nonetheless. This is a piece that broke off. It's got too much load. I think it broke right there. If I'm being lucky, that's the only piece that has snapped on me, because holding it in with two little brace beams across the main boom and the counter arm is just not enough when you've got, I don't know, what's that, about 2 meters of length. Okay, so I have resorted to rolling the crane on top of itself, or on the back of itself. Otherwise, if I did it the way the book wanted me to with these little beams, it's just too much weight, especially with that jib, and things were breaking. This is just an update to show us, you know, that's pretty much the total height of this thing. There's the door frame and there's the crane. So the crane's taller than the door frame, it almost reaches the ceiling and the downlights. So yeah, this is my head level. So right in front of my face is where I've got the camera, and yeah, it is absolutely huge. I'm at the stage where I've come to reline it, so hopefully when I cable this thing up, it holds itself a bit better, rather than just two little plastic beams. I think it should, because everything is aligned. I've just got to be real careful about shit, and we might even take those two beams off just to lie the main body of the crane down, if I can get away with that, because it's going to be much easier to line it that way. But this is just an update to show you. That's pretty much how tall the crane is. It's over 2 meters. It's more, yeah, 2.2 meters ish. Okay, so it's been about another hour and it's all rigged up. Well, pretty much all rigged up. I just haven't got a cable for the hook yet. I've got a cable, it's just in the other room. I haven't cabled it up. But yeah, she is pretty freaking high. I mean, like, she's higher than the door frame. She's almost touching the ceiling. But yeah, let's give you a little demo and rundown about how it works. Alright, keep in mind, I still have not built everything. I have to build a hook. That's the last part. Controlling this right joystick, right, left and right, will lower and raise the jib. I know you can't see that, but there you go. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Even when it's coming up, the motors don't sound strained. Okay, well, they sound a little bit strained, but they don't sound like they're underpowered or anything. So yeah, they pretty much lift that up like a piece of piss. The left and right little buttons control the main boom. So if you hold the up button, that goes down. Just like that. And up again. It does put a little bit of strain on the main body, so you have to watch that out. Or just add more counterweight. So I don't want to put it all the way down without more counterweight. So yeah, just be careful. Up and down. You know, the motors sound fine. 2 large motors. That does sound fine. If you want to change the body or the position of it, that's very easy to do so as well. That's all done by a medium motor too. So yeah, there's not much more to show you. I'm going to finish rigging up, build a hook, and we will do a lifting test. I don't want to break it, obviously. Okay, it is all rigged up. The hook's on the end. Overall, it was challenging at times, but it was a pretty fun build to do. There were parts where they didn't want to click in too easily, but we got through all of that. The instruction manual had pretty good details. These are the spare pieces. I've kept them in the box that had the weight modules in them. We got 4 blue Technic beams. Those were to hold the crane before you rigged it. And we have quite a few black and blue Technic pins left over. It's fully operational. It actually can move forward and backward just fine. The motors do sound a bit strained, but nothing too bad. I mean, at least it still moves. One track isn't really enough to power it. It can move forward and backwards, but if you want to turn a corner, it's not really built for it. Like, I'll just, I'll move one track just to show you. But what about 2 tracks? One moving forward, one moving backward? It can't really do that either, I'm sorry. It really depends. It really relies on 2 tracks moving in parallel. So unfortunately, you can only really go forwards and backwards with this thing. If you want to turn any sort of corner, yeah, say goodnight, because you can't. But everything else works. The jib works fine. Going really low, like really low. That's about the max. I don't want to put any strain on the cables or whatever. And of course, she goes really high, almost touching the ceiling. Almost touching the ceiling there, so that's about maybe, I don't know, 2.3 meters, 2.2, I'm not too sure. Now unfortunately, you can't see it, but we'll go closer so you can. The main boom and jib is a bit too heavy. You can't really extend the boom much past 45 degrees without this really being lifted up. I mean, the counterweight's off the ground, that's okay, but what really happens is that these 2 gears, these 2 big yellow ones, they get separated. So we'll show you that, because we'll lower the boom, and you can see it's already on a massive tilt. I'm not going to break it, but we're going to show you. Yeah, that's about as far as I would. I mean, look how far that counterweight's off the ground, and yeah, it's definitely not too bad. If you were just to rise and lower the jib, it's completely fine. So you really need some sort of counterweight on the main body, or more weight in the back. Just something like that, just to keep the weight bearing down, because I don't know, I tried to pick up the tripod last night with it, and it's not going so well, so you really need some sort of counterweight. It can do it, it did lift it up off the ground, but I had to hold the main boom. Alright, we got some more counterweight, and in Germany, where most of the reviews on this Mould King set are, these batteries would be called Einhell. But more counterweight, let's see what this can pick up. I've got maybe, 4 kilos on there. Each of those batteries weigh just under 1 kilo. So I'm just going to round it up, maybe 4 kilos around there. Alright, first test will be to lift up a tissue box. I don't really know if I've got it on a good way, but we'll just see. This pretty much weighs nothing, maybe like 100 grams at most. And it pops right back out. Alright. There you go. It lifts it. I don't really think I need to go any further than that to demonstrate. Barely any strain on the motors. Alright, speaking of batteries, how about we try and get it to lift the battery? This is about 500 grams, so half a kilo. Oh. Oh. No. Oh, will she? No, she won't. I've got breakages up there. Oh, that's a severe bend, isn't it? Oh, that's another severe. Oh, it's alright. We'll fix it right up. It's okay. I know what's broken. It's fine. It's not too major. It's just little pins in there that are twisting in around. And if any of them are bent, I've got replacements anyway. Okay, so it can't lift 500 grams. Even with all the counterweights. I tried to put it all the way down and the string disconnected from those rollers. It made the crane arm fall down and we got a break in there. It's not so bad. I just got to figure out what's actually broken and what needs to be replaced and how it needs to be replaced. But it actually isn't too bad. I should be able to fix this within a couple hours. The funny thing is that I said I'm not going to break it and I don't want to break it, but what's happened is I've broken it. But it can be fixed, so it's not that hard of a break, so yeah, it's all gonna get fixed, it's fine. Just spend a couple hours fixing this, and then when it's all done, we'll come back for the final review, eh? Alright, so the boom is fixed, and the jib had little parts missing, just one or two. I've put all those back on. I've connected the two together. We've had to replace some Technic pins. Otherwise, these little arches or the joists, whatever they are, were slightly bent, and it's because there was just too much pressure and strain on the blue pins. But what happened is that the cable that ran from the back right up there and those rollers, very blurry, snapped on these rollers here, so I have to reline it and recable it. But that's pretty much going to end the review here. We've had no missing pieces. We've got a hell of a lot of spare blue and black Technic pins. And yeah, I guess that's going to end it. I mean, I really don't know what to end it, because I was originally just going to end it with this standing up, but yeah, so yeah, we'll throw in a picture at the end. So this is going to end the talking part here from me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this, please leave it a like. Yeah, stay around a little bit and we'll show you some pictures of when it's all put back together and recabled and stuff, because I'm going to spend the next couple of hours. Yeah, that's going to end it. So we'll see you on the next one.